The king buried a child alive beneath his throne, and every ruler after him died screaming.
Long ago, in the ancient kingdom of Umoru, there stood a throne nobody questioned. Massive, beautiful, covered in gold and ivory, the symbol of power. But hidden beneath that throne was a terrible secret. A secret buried alive. The elders said the first king of Umoru feared death more than anything. He wanted a kingdom that would never fall, a throne no enemy could conquer. So he went into the forbidden forest to seek the Oracle of Shadows. The Oracle gave him a horrifying condition: to make your throne eternal. A life must guard it forever. The king agreed immediately, but he did not offer his own life. He offered his son, a 7-year-old boy named Abina. That night, the kingdom celebrated. Drums filled the air. Villagers danced. Nobody knew the prince had disappeared. Deep beneath the palace, a chamber was built under the throne itself. Dark, silent, hidden forever. The boy was chained there alive, crying, screaming for his father. But the king ignored him. The throne was placed above the chamber, and from that day, the kingdom became powerful beyond imagination. No war defeated them. No rebellion succeeded. The throne was feared across the land. But then strange things began happening. Every king who sat on the throne eventually died horribly. Some screamed in the middle of the night. Others clawed their own eyes out. One king burned the palace himself before dying. And every ruler claimed the same thing before death. There is a child crying beneath the throne. For 200 years, nobody dared investigate, until King Eze came to power. Unlike the others, he did not believe in curses. He believed in logic, history, truth. When he heard the stories, he laughed. A kingdom cannot be haunted by a child. But the very first night he sat on the throne, he heard it, soft crying, directly beneath him. At first he ignored it, but each night, the crying grew louder, more desperate. Soon, the palace servants began hearing it too. Then children in the kingdom started disappearing, one every full moon. The people panicked. The elders begged the king to leave the throne, but his pride refused. Instead, he ordered the throne destroyed. The workers tried. Axes shattered against it. Fire would not burn it. And when they lifted the throne slightly, they heard something beneath it whisper, "Father." The workers fled in terror. But King Eze finally became afraid. That night, the crying became unbearable. And at midnight, the throne moved by itself, slowly, revealing a hidden staircase beneath it. The king stood frozen. A cold wind rose from below, along with the smell of wet earth, and something worse, rotting flesh. Against all fear, King Eze descended the stairs alone, torch trembling in his hand. The deeper he went, the louder the crying became, until he reached the chamber, and there, he found chains, tiny bones, and a child sitting in the darkness, still alive. The boy slowly lifted his head. His eyes were completely black, yet tears still ran down his face. And when he spoke, his voice sounded like hundreds of children at once. "You finally came." The torch went out instantly. Darkness swallowed everything. Then the boy stood, but his feet never touched the ground. The walls began shaking violently, and suddenly, thousands of ghostly children emerged from the darkness behind him. Every child the throne had taken over centuries. King Eze stumbled backward in horror. "What are you?" The boy tilted his head, then smiled sadly. "I was the first." The chamber exploded with screams. The ghosts surged toward the king. and above the palace, the throne began bleeding. Blood flowed down the palace steps, into the streets. The kingdom descended into chaos. Then the child spoke again. For centuries, I guarded the throne. Now, it is your turn. The chains wrapped around King Eze instantly, dragging him toward the darkness. The king screamed for mercy, but the child's expression never changed. You heard us crying, and still sat on the throne. The chamber sealed shut, forever. The next morning, the palace was silent. The throne stood untouched, but King Eze was gone. Only one thing remained on the throne: a fresh crown, small enough for a child. And every night since then, the people of Umoru still hear crying beneath the palace floor, waiting for the next king.